Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to 365 Analytics. And today it is Friday, July 24th, and everybody's favorite day of the NFL position ranking series. And that, of course, is quarterback. This is what stirs up the most controversy. This is what stirs up the most debate, and people are at each other's necks over quarterback rankings, quarterback disputes, and everything that comes with ranking the NFL quarterbacks and some of the guys at the top. Before I do get into this, if you guys do enjoy today's video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more content exactly like this. And without further ado, let's get right into our top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Coming in at the number 10 spot on the list, it almost feels like he is squeaking his way on this list still at this point. It is Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. I was so close to putting this guy at number 11 and putting, spoiler alert, Caleb Williams at number 10, but I ended up opting for Jalen Hurts at the number 10 spot. He's won a Super Bowl MVP. He's won a Super Bowl flat out. And despite how rough of a season it was last year for him and the entire Eagles offense, as I've said in pretty much every rankings video, he still wasn't terrible. There were some bad moments for sure, but the resume speaks for itself. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's been an MVP candidate, so to speak. I'd say in 2022, he's an MVP candidate. He's won a Super Bowl MVP, and he has that resume to stay in the top 10. At number 10 on the list, Jalen Hurts. Coming in at the number 9 spot on the list, this one might also come as a surprise and spark up some debate, but it is Washington Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels. This past season dealt with some injuries. Everybody kind of knows that. He is going into his 3rd year in the league now. In year 1, though, led the Washington Commanders to the NFC Championship game, won the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and was the best rookie quarterback widely considered, and was widely considered a top 10 quarterback after last year itself. This past year kind of slipped a little bit, people kind of forgetting about him because of the injuries. There was, even when he was on the field, there was some inconsistent play, and quite frankly, it will be a very, very big year coming up for the Washington Commanders because it's a big year for Dan Quinn. It's a big year for the organization as a whole. Jayden Daniels needs to return to that 2024 form, but I think he will. I think the Commanders will get back to that form and will kind of rebound to become a very good team again. And yeah, number 9 on the list, Jayden Daniels. Coming in at the number 8 spot on the list, we have Drake May is what the nickname was for him this past season. It is obviously Drake May, second in MVP voting this past season, lost in one of the tightest races of recent memory to Matthew Stafford. Drake May was very good last season. Everybody kind of knows that, put up a ton of stats, was very, very good on the deep ball, leading the New England Patriots to a Super Bowl in his 2nd season. Kind of the underdog in the MVP race. A lot of people thought he should have won MVP, but it was also the counter argument with the easy schedule and carving up bad defenses and all that. And quite frankly, I do think there's some truth to that, but you cannot take away with what Drake May did last year. Being in the MVP conversation in year 2 is unreal in itself, and I probably would have voted, if I had a vote, I probably would have voted for Drake May for MVP, but I can also see the argument that the easy schedule was part of what he did last year. It was a big part of what he did, so to speak, but nonetheless, second in MVP race, very good quarterback, and he's only going to get better. If you redrafted the NFL right now to start a franchise, he is probably a top 10 pick, maybe a top 5 pick. Maybe he's the first player taken off the board because of how young he was, or how young he is, and how good he was last year. But at number 8 on the list, it is Drake May. Coming in at number 7, this was another tight one right here, him and Drake May. I widely considered putting Drake May at number 7 above him, but it is Justin Herbert. And this guy's utterly talented. I think everybody knows that. The Chargers have been inconsistent over the past few years, but the arm strength on this guy is unbelievable. The talent on this guy is unbelievable. As you can see, he can even be mobile at times. He has some of the best traits of talent that you ever see from a quarterback, but He just can't get over that hump, and that is the playoffs. 0-3 in playoff games to this point. 3 bad playoff performances. Everybody remembers a 27-0 blown lead against the Jaguars. The 3 interceptions in the Texans wildcard game a few years ago, and putting up 3 points in the Patriots wildcard game this year. Everybody likes to blame the offensive line. Yeah, I get that argument. And I do think there's some truth to that, but Justin Herbert was not great himself in that game either. And it just makes him slip down the list. I believe I had him at number 5 in the rankings last year, but he needs to get over that hump. He needs to win playoff games. And I think the addition of Mike McDaniel for the Chargers will help him a lot. So we'll see what he does in year 7. But yeah, at number 7 on the list, Justin Herbert. The Dak Prescott disrespect needs to stop. And at number 6 on the list, we have Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. I mean, I think this guy, quite frankly, is underrated. Is it because he plays for the Cowboys and that's America's team, so to speak, and the Cowboys are one of the most hated teams in the league just for memes and all that? Possibly. But Dak Prescott deserves more respect overall. I get it. Obviously, the Cowboys, NFC Championship jokes. They haven't been to the NFC Championship games since the 90s, yada, yada, yada. I'll tell you right now, I am dangerously high on the Dallas Cowboys this year. But nonetheless, Dak Prescott was outstanding last year. 2 elite receivers, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, both produced with him. He has been in MVP conversations before. A lot of people think he should have won the MVP in 2023 over Lamar Jackson. I would have voted for Lamar, but that's neither here nor there. I think Lamar was very outstanding that season too, but Dak Prescott was putting up numbers. When this guy is healthy, he is clearly one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, and everybody likes to make jokes and all that because he plays for the Cowboys, but this guy's a baller. And I think he needs more respect. Below the top 5 guys, like everybody knows who the top 5 guys are at this point. But after that, Dak Prescott is the best amongst anybody else outside of those top 5 guys. So at number 6 on the list, Dak Prescott. Coming in at the number 5 spot on the list, we have the NFL's reigning most valuable player. And that is obviously Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford. This guy's been good in the NFL for a very long time. I think everybody knows that. Everybody remembers all the years in Detroit, no playoff wins, producing with Megatron, with guys like that. But just the Detroit Lions could not get over the hump. He could not have winning team success with the Detroit Lions. Eventually moves to greener pastures in Los Angeles, wins a Super Bowl and wins a most valuable player and cements himself as a Hall of Famer, possibly a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know. I think we're tinkering on that one, but he's a Hall of Famer at this point. He's a Hall of Famer, one of the great quarterbacks of all time, and this could be his last season right here. We'll see, but yeah, obviously last year was outstanding, leading the Los Angeles Rams almost to a division title. Seattle ended up taking the division title in Week 16, but yeah, NFC Championship game appearance, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams being absolutely outstanding. The most high-powered offense with Sean McVay in the league, and yeah, what else is there to be said? The stats were put up. Him and Drake May, absolutely historic race, and Matthew Stafford comes in at number 5 on the list. Yeah, all right, this is where it starts getting a little dicey. At number 4 on the list, I have Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. And before I say anything else, an absolute baller, the 2-time MVP. And I don't want this to be taken as disrespect to Lamar Jackson. I know how good he is. Maybe the best dual threat quarterback in the history of the NFL. Definitely the best rushing quarterback in the history of the NFL. He's already surpassed Mike Vick. He's already surpassed Randall Cunningham. And there's no dispute about that. Already a future Hall of Famer in all likelihood because of those 2 MVPs. But then, last year was kind of underwhelming, I'd say. Obviously, it was John Harbaugh's swan song final year in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson was injured at points during last season, came back from the injury, did not necessarily look that good. I think he's kind of getting disrespected. In the NFL's top 100 list, I believe he was like number 70 or something like that, which is very, very disrespectful. Lamar Jackson is a top 20 player in the National Football League, period. But, yeah, Last season was a little bit rough. Baltimore ends up missing the playoffs with an 8-9 record. Only missed a few games, so missing the playoffs is big there, I'd say. And yeah, the playoff success is what everybody wants to talk about. I believe he's 3-5 in the playoffs, and he quite frankly hasn't performed that well in the games he's won. Really, besides that Texans game, I believe it was in 2023. But yeah, this one might ruffle some feathers. But at number 4 on the list, we have Lamar Jackson. And at number 3, this one might get people even more mad. We have Josh Allen. And this is a guy that most people, or maybe even most people at this point, might consider the best quarterback in the NFL. They might take him over number 15 in Kansas City. They'll probably take him over number 8 in Baltimore, and they'll take him over number 9 in Cincinnati in a heartbeat. And that is Josh Allen, obviously the 2024 NFL MVP. Makes the playoffs every single year. Has not been able to get past Patrick Mahomes. That's kind of the issue. Nonetheless, again, awesome player. Just like Lamar, easily a top 20 player in the NFL. Probably will be top 10 on the NFL top 100 next week. But, I mean, come on, guys. Like, this guy is absolutely awesome. Like, I know I like to hate on Josh Allen. I like to troll Josh Allen. I like to troll on the Bills. But he's awesome. I mean, there's no really disputing that. Obviously, the Denver playoff game was a little bit rough. Was it 5 turnovers for Josh Allen? The fumble at the end of the half, the rough interception at the end, the Jaquan McMillan controversial call, but yeah, I mean, Josh Allen's awesome. At number 3 on the list, we have Josh Allen. All right, maybe I'm a little biased, okay? Maybe I'm just a little biased. At number 2 on the list, I have my favorite team's quarterback, Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, Joe Burrow. And most people at this point would consider Joe Burrow the 4th or 5th best quarterback in the league. And I will say, honestly, and I'll be every single ounce of honesty in my heart, I can understand that. I get it. Joe Burrow has not made the playoffs in 3 seasons. Joe Burrow has durability concerns. He needs to stay healthy. Joe Burrow has 2 elite receivers. I get all that, sure. What Joe Burrow also has is he plays for a below-average organization who is notorious for being a bad organization. He's played behind a bad offensive line for his entire career now. This will be the first year he's really having a decent offensive line, continuity on the offensive line, all 5 starters returning. And I believe he has probably a bottom 3 head coach in the league. And that's all true. That's all true. The only gripe on this guy is that it's the health. It's the health, quite frankly. And I know, I agree, no excuses this season. He needs to stay healthy. The Bengals front office brought in Dexter Lawrence. They brought in Boye Mafe. They brought in Brian Cook. They brought in Jonathan Allen. And there's no excuse for the Bengals not to be a playoff team this year. There's no excuse not for the Bengals not to be a deep playoff run contender, if not a Super Bowl contender, and there's no excuse for Joe Burrow not to absolutely ball out and have the Bengals in Super Bowl contention. So, yeah, at number 2 on the list, Joe Burrow. And at number 1, I still have him number 1. It is the boogeyman, the best quarterback in the league, the 3-time Super Bowl champion. I almost said 2-time, 3-time Super Bowl champion at this point. It is Patrick Mahomes recovering from the torn ACL. Actually, the day I'm recording this, it is announced today Patrick Mahomes will be cleared for practice and training camp. There was never a doubt in anybody's mind that he was not going to be ready for week 1, right? There was never a doubt. Yeah, I didn't think so, but I know at this point, most people might say Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league, but I still think it's Patrick Mahomes, multiple-time MVP, multiple-time Super Bowl champion. All these stats already. The Kansas City Chiefs have lived in the AFC Championship game when this guy's been healthy, and I know last season was pretty rough. Mahomes is a little bit underwhelming. They might have missed the playoffs even if Mahomes did stay healthy. They likely would have, actually, but I mean, come on, guys. This guy is probably the 5th or 6th best quarterback all-time. Rankings are ready for me. I mean, it's Brady, Manning, Montana, Rodgers, and then it's Breeze or Mahomes, in my opinion. So, yeah. What else is there to say? The resume speaks for itself. He's won all these playoff games. He's been compared to Brady. He almost three-peated a few years ago. So, yeah, he's done all that. and he's just turning 31 in September, I believe. So he's still got a long career ahead of him. Probably going to play till 40, but that's besides the point. At number 1 in the league, still him, Patrick Mahomes. And here is my full top 32 mapped out, and that is it for positions. Obviously, we'll resume next week with our top 100 on Tuesday, but that is it. Recapping the top 10: 1, Patrick Mahomes; 2, Joe Burrow; 3, Josh Allen; 4, Lamar Jackson; 5, Matt Stafford; 6, Dak Prescott; 7, Justin Herbert; 8, Drake May; 9, Jaden Daniels; and 10, Jalen Hurts. But Caleb Williams is really getting there at number 11. Goff 12, Love 13, Darnold 14, Super Bowl champion at number 14, Super Bowl champion quarterback outside of the top 10. I'd say it's a pretty rare occurrence. Congratulations to Sam Darnold, though. Really revived his career. Had an outstanding season last season. He is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Aaron Rodgers, Cam Ward. I'm expecting a big season out of Cam Ward this season. I've been watching the quarterback documentary. I'm a huge fan of him. He's hilarious. He's an awesome personality, great guy. Daniel Jones, who was injured last season, he'll be coming back. Kyler Murray in his new destination. Same with Malik Willis in Miami. Jackson Dart at 26. I feel like that might anger some people that he's that low because of how high of a personality he is and how awesome of a dude he is and how fun he is to be around. But I mean, come on, Jackson Dart's got a long way to go. Tyler Shough, both the Falcons quarterbacks, Michael Penix Jr. and Tua Tagovailoa at 28 and 29, followed by Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, and the people's champ, probably one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league, Joe Flacco at 32. Disclaimer, Fernando Mendoza is not on here because I do not rank rookies. Honorable mentions being Jacoby Brissett, J.J. McCarthy, Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, and Mac Jones. So, yeah, those are the quarterback rankings going into the 2026 NFL season. We are on the horizon. Just to lay out next week a little bit for you guys. Monday, we'll be off. We won't be here next week on Monday. Tuesday, our NFL Top 100 video will officially be out, and we'll wrap up the 2026 NFL Position Ranking Series. Wednesday, Bengals training camp opens, and we'll have practices through the weekend. Back together weekends next weekend, which I always deem the official start, in quotes, of the sports calendar. Back together Saturday is the start of the NFL season, technically. Everybody's back together. Training camps are open. Hall of Fame game on the horizon, and everybody's excited again. So yeah, I deem that the official start of the NFL calendar. And a little bit of a spoiler here, we will have a podcast starting up. Not next week, but the Monday after. Monday, August 3rd will be the first episode of our podcast here on the channel. We'll be doing it every single week through the NFL season. And yeah, I'm excited to tell you guys more about that next week on the Top 100 video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more content exactly like this. And have a great night. Have a great weekend. And I will see y'all on Tuesday with the 2026 NFL Top 100.